So yeah, sorry. We were just talking about someone in this room who shall remain nameless, but it wasn't me. So do the maths, because you just told me. So there was some illegal downloading of some Iron Man 3, which is fucking stupid on several levels. One of which is it's Iron Man 3, whatever. The other one is it's not available for legal. Anyway, I was just saying to you that I picked something up that I quite like the sound of when I was on campus at Wollongong University. They have a very strong culture down there of recognising particular groups of people who may have been here before white settlement came. So what they do at the beginning of every lecture... No, this is serious. I'm serious about this. Please. There's no humour in this, okay? I'm trying to be... And you're just... Like, come on. Can you come down off your high horse? I can't really see you. I'm just saying that I want to...
Fucking go, that's all right.
Before each lecture, they'd come in and they'd say, look, we just want to take a moment here to recognise the traditional owners of the land, the people of... And they do a tribe, got $1. I thought that was a tribe. It's just what they say. I didn't know. I thought it was a place. But anyways, it's not. So look, I just wanted to, as here we are at your house, I just wanted to say we weren't the first ones here. You certainly weren't. You fucking immigrant. But I wasn't. My family wasn't. Not even I. We came through New Zealand, but anyway. So there were people on this land before us, and the traditional owners of this land. I just want to say thank you. We're here now to Mr. and Mrs. Gokwe Lee of Chatswood, New South Wales. I went through your leasing agreements, and they're the ones who actually own this place. So I just want to say thank you for owning this house and letting us use it for our pale face purposes. Please tell your story about your illegal downloading of Iron Man 3. So in your own time. I thought it was a beautiful thing to acknowledge the owners of
this place?
Yeah, this particular place.
Oh, cool.
That may or may not be their names. I just figured it sounded like it probably would be, and Chatswood would be probably where they live. But you get the idea. Fucking ruiner. So Iron Man 3.
Yeah, all right.
Danny Jr.'s in that, I heard. Is he any good?
Give me a second to process what the fuck all that
Terrence Howard, is he in that one?
No.
I don't think he is.
No.
Is the fantastic Don Cheadle in Iron Man 3?
Don the man.
He's the actor's actor.
Yes. Don Cheadle, who, could probably just pop up in any kind of film now and play Don Cheadle-esque characters.
As long as they don't already have a black guy in it, because the only
he's got to be the
token. Yeah, he's never in the Cosby Show or that kind of thing.
Yeah,
he wouldn't.
It would. Unless they need a token white guy or something.
Then they dress him up.
Don Cheadle and anyway.
So Iron Man 3, so you downloaded it illegally. Piracy is a crime.
Bring a note up every...
Just saying.
Just
now that I've given out you... Yeah, go on.
The owners of... the property.
It's a beautiful thing to acknowledge people who've come before you, and I'm just trying to bring a little bit of culture here.
There's a lot of people who've come before me.
That's fine. I'm not going to go through a fucking list. I'm not going to all their names.
Come before me.
Jesus.
All right. So I was watching Iron Man 3. I saw it at cinema. I was one of the people who...
One of the few
who contributed to the $1 trillion profit, whatever it made. And I noticed that, I could rewatch it in
illegal format.
Yeah.
Look, the movie made as much money as Robert Mugabe, so I don't think there's a problem as far as your $11.
So I rewatched. I was bored yesterday. Let me give it another spin. I didn't like it when I saw it.
Yeah.
But I'll probably buy the Blu-ray because I'm a completist.
You need to have
I've got the other 5 or whatever.
Yeah, there's an empty spot on your case and your shelf, and you need to fill that.
The illegal download isn't taking anyone's money away in the grand scheme of...
You're going to...
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, anyway. It's just as bad as I remember. Yeah, it's not good. It's Lethal Weapon... jammed into the Marvel universe because that's what Shane Black
does.
But it's weird because I didn't realise, like, when the guy Shane Black's directing it, not Jon Favreau, he's the guy who did the...
He did Kiss Kiss Bang
Kiss,
Bang.
oh, that guy. I didn't think about...
Yeah. He's also in Predator, which you would know.
Yes.
He's the skinny guy, Hawkins with the glasses.
Right, he knows the jokes.
Yeah, and he dies early on.
Yeah.
Mine's as big as a house, he's that guy. And the story goes that he was a representative from the studio who was sent down to the location, because I think it was John McTiernan who did Predator. And they were worried in the 80s, all those muscle heads, John McTiernan, all that kind of culture in the 80s that I don't know anything about. They needed someone there on the ground to keep an eye on everything, apparently. And he was their representative, so they sent me out. He ended up being in the movie, which makes sense now. But as a kid, because I watched that movie when I was
you just think he's
less than 10, I thought, why is he the only skinny four-eyed fuckwit in the jungle?
Right.
He stands out like fucking balls on a bulldog.
Yeah,
all these other dudes.
So he's supposed to be a military.
He's supposed to be a hard. Well, all the other guys have arms the size of his fucking body.
Yeah,
and there's him.
Yeah, what's
like a coat hanger. Yeah. So the behind the scenes thing fills in that gap. But anyway, that's
but that's well, I guess that is relevant.
Possibly interesting.
This movie's controversial because there's a lot of people saying they didn't like it, but it did make a bajillion, whatever the fuck, dollars.
Brazilian
so
dollars.
people went to see it multiple times, so I assume you don't get that much.
Well, there's 7 billion on the planet.
Because everyone goes to see everything once.
Yeah.
Even the shit ones get seen once. So they don't make a gazillion dollars. So it must be repeat views.
Yeah.
You know.
Wasn't from me. And not from you either.
No. Not at cinemas anyway. Like I said, I'll buy the fucking Blu-ray and everything else.
Yeah.
But it doesn't fit in it's so I don't care that the Mandarin is not the comic book version of the Mandarin.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
The twist is just shit.
Yeah.
Like it's not because like if that twist was in the comics, it would still be shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Like he's a psychedelic LSD 60s tripped out hippie actor guy.
I thought, it's my dad. When I saw it, I thought, wow. Yeah, he's not running an international terrorist organization.
That guy couldn't pretend to. Like, he would have fucked up.
He would have
the
told
lines. He would have told someone.
Well, there were hookers and stuff, weren't there? Prostitutes.
It was a gimmick out of an 80s action movie scene.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, it just didn't...
It was almost like from the A-Team, I thought. Like that deliberately campy, poking fun at itself, ha-ha, we're all in on a joke.
Yeah.
But it totally removed all weight and levity from the film, because then all of a sudden it's about some fucking... It's on a false premise from the get-go.
Yeah, and it was a good... Like, the whole thing was quite good to begin with. Like, this terrorist, it tied in, 10 rings, tied in, that was all very, you know...
Tom Morello was part of it from the first one. But yeah, it was
all kind of, you know, it made sense. It was this whole aftermath of New York and the Avengers, and now...
And just so, in case people haven't seen the Avengers, because I know it was a bit of a blip on the radar.
I haven't seen the Avengers, but they're listening to us.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Kate's grandmother loves this show. What happened in the Avengers that might or might not have been fucking globally mind-changing?
The aliens.
Oh, aliens!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right, with this guy. Okay. And gods as well was there,
and all that crazy shit that was going on.
I thought people took it rather well. I mean, those that...
The fucking Hulk. I mean, like, like, in the, you know, like, just all of that stuff was massive. So...
But the world kept spinning, and no one seemed to mind.
No, it was all, you know...
And by the time
there was a joke in this movie. Tell us about New York. Don't ask me about New York.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid enough to talk about it. You won't like me when I talk about it.
So, and this, I think, happens when someone comes along and says, okay, I'll do Iron Man 3. What? No, I haven't seen the other 5 films, or I don't care about... you know, like that sort of...
Yeah.
I'm just doing my film.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought he came in and said, I'm Shane Black, these are the kinds of movies I make, which is fine, but then don't try and shoehorn that cop buddy detective drama into the Iron Man Marvel universe.
Yeah, and what the one thing that really, you know, that really shit me, and it all happens in that same scene. Before he discovers the twist of, you know, Gandhi being fucking actor or whatever, right?
Gandhi the sexy beast, I think.
Yeah. It's Iron Man. Tony Stark is a fucking geek.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of in shape a little bit, and he obviously is a rich guy, and he's got his personal training and whatever else, keeps in shape. But he's not on his own.
He's not a ninja.
He's not a ninja.
Yeah.
So the scene leading up, he doesn't have the suit, and he's doing all this Mission Impossible, Bourne Legacy fucking karate chopping, spinning around, throwing shit.
Homemade grenades and fucking,
What the fuck is, like,
it's stupid.
It doesn't make any sense.
So stupid. Well, my understanding of Iron Man comes mostly from the first 3 films, Iron Man 1, 2 and the Avengers, right? My understanding is when he's not in the suit, he's fucked. When he's not in the suit, he's just a dude. Yeah, he's clever, but he can't outwit your way out of armed bodyguards and the whole thing that he was trying to infiltrate that base.
That's not what he
put the suit on, and he's an ass-kicking machine, which is fantastic. Suit off, just a guy with a fancy beard, and that's sort of all he's got.
He's smart and all that. But
so when he's doing somersaults and fucking ducking and weaving...
and then, him and fucking...
Rhodey,
smack talking and
having
a little banter while they're getting shot at and giving some bullets and Riggs. It doesn't fit. It's not.
Yeah. Can I ask a question? I saw this movie midnight screening, 12:01 in the morning, the day it came out. So it was a Thursday, or it was a Wednesday because it was Anzac Day. So it was a Wednesday, very, very late at night. When I got home and I woke up, I thought Danny Glover was in the movie because it was so fucking Lethal Weapon. And I actually remember him being in it. I must have dreamt it or something, but it was a weird memory relapse. He's not in it, is
I
he?
didn't catch him again.
Okay.
But
they edited him out. They put in Don Cheadle.
I had it on last night. I was in and out as well, just sort of watching it, but not.
Geez, all that money you spent, you think you would have sat down and watched it properly?
It's my ADD, you know. So no, I don't think he was.
He wasn't there. Okay. So I just
but there's plenty of that guy, and I know that guy. And, you know, William Sadler's in it.
For like 2 seconds or something?
Yeah.
Shane Black's mates from the 80s.
Yeah.
Those that are still alive.
Yeah. So, and the vice president's that guy who's in a bunch of stuff is like a...
I haven't seen it since the thing. You're right. It's just shoehorning stuff into this film that doesn't make sense in that reality. And then the twist, I think we were talking about this earlier, the twist would have worked if it was executed better. Like if it was, there is no Mandarin
at all. It's a CGI thing we do with computers, because in this universe, there's computers that are holograms and...
Yeah, his whole house is a fucking whiz-bang touchpad.
Why do you need an actor? In this realm here,
you don't need him.
You don't need the actual physical...
No, you just program a face
and fucking actor guy.
Yeah. We've got Gollum in our world.
Yeah.
So in their world, they could have the Mandarin.
Right.
And it wouldn't be Ben Kingsley.
No.
It could be anybody.
Yeah.
So, or even as I said before, if they've got a guy, they filmed it, or maybe he was real, but he's now dead.
Yeah.
They've removed him, and they're using the fire dragon guy, whatever his name is, Guy Pearce's character.
Yeah.
He's using that to manipulate perceptions for his own ends.
Yeah, so anything... Yeah, so it's not the twist.
Yeah.
It's this cheesy, campy... drunkard, LSD, pot smoking fucking guy.
It was really bad.
Yeah,
it was really bad.
That's what bothered me about that twist.
It was it was brave. It was brave to have a twist in there, but the twist was so fucking stupid that
that's all it is. It's not twists aren't a problem. Twists are great.
Twists are great.
Twists are good.
Yeah,
and the fact that they could hide it, was good.
Yeah,
but
he was calm. After all that, he was Ah, fuck. That's, no, we didn't see that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole
That's-
thing.
yeah,
But yeah, so Iron Man 3, the twist, Kingsley, shithouse.
So that was pretty shit.
Yeah.
Everything from then on is pretty shit.
Right. How long into the movie does that happen?
Halfway, I'm saying.
Yeah. So the first half.
I mean, there's some shit before it that's not great.
Yes, there is.
But then from then, like, he's already met the kid by then, and that's all stupid.
Yeah.
I think everything up until him passing out and then waking up in the snow is pretty good.
Yeah. When the house gets blown up.
The house gets blown up. There's some...
Hang on, no, I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
That flashback scene right at the fucking start of the movie.
That was terrible.
That was like eye cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
If Jon Favreau turned down directing so he could star in as Happy
It's the
guy
past.
Hogan.
Long hair, everyone.
Yeah. Oh, 80s. It was 99. Or,
Yeah, 99.
and what was the song that was playing? It was like Chumba Wumba or
Yeah.
Eiffel 65, don't even.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm Blue is playing. But yeah, it's the 90s, but you got the 80s mullets. And,
Yeah,
like,
and
it's
big
just
blue
stupid.
like Miami Vice suits and
Yeah.
stuff. And Jon Favreau is about 400 stone as well.
Yeah.
He's not bodyguarding shit. So what the fuck were they thinking? Come on, John, get it together.
That was all a bit.
Yeah, but after that,
Okay, so forget that.
so that's okay. So that part's out. So
Because that was just his. That's just the Shane Black Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. This is all going to be a story that's happened,
Yep.
and I'm telling it.
like a framing narrative kind
Yeah.
of thing. And all Shane Black, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is all based off Raymond Chandler books.
Yeah,
from I
yeah,
understand. I haven't read all of them, but all the chapters.
Detective novel.
Yeah. So okay, so if we're halfway through,
Fucking whatever.
yeah. Foreign words.
Yeah.
So halfway through the movie, it sounds shit. The first half was okay, but we've already cut off about 10 minutes or 15 minutes from the start, which leaves
Guy
approximately...
Pearce playing young Einstein at the start. like all of that, all stupid.
They couldn't get you serious for that.
Yeah, because you know what's happening there. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay, he's a dork, weird,
Yeah.
hunched over, fucking retarded.
That's not the last we're going to see of
Yeah,
him.
he's going to be Guy Pearce in a minute.
Yeah.
Where
Well, I'm
he's
pretty sure, didn't we see
white
images?
suit,
Yeah.
fucking slick. Yeah, it was...
In the commercials
Yeah.
for the film and the promos and stuff, didn't we see him? Was he
Yeah.
on the poster?
Yeah,
Being all like
yeah.
Captain America looking sort of
Right,
thing? Yeah.
and that's the thing. You don't. If Guy Pearce is in a movie where he's playing that fucking retarded guy or whatever,
Well, he's got issues.
That's
Yeah. Let's be...
whatever.
Since you turned to a life of crime and downloading, you fucking really lost your social conscience. Guy Pearce, yeah, go on.
Well, he's all hunched over. He's all a bit messy, right? That if he was playing that role in the movie for the entirety,
Yeah.
they would execute that better. He would look like slap this makeup off
Yeah,
for this
here's some
scene.
fake teeth.
Yeah. Like it just it was silly. You knew it wasn't going to be. You knew, oh yeah, this guy's coming back like the Joker.
Yeah, it's,
You know.
it's funny though because
So
we say that about
Riddler or something, you know.
yeah, he's going to put on a fancy suit.
Yeah.
We say that about Guy Pearce in this movie. He must be coming back because he's not going to be that the entire movie. Prometheus is
the opposite.
he's the opposite. He turns up as a really really old guy in makeup and stuff,
Yeah.
and then he fucks off. He's a hologram. He's not even really.
He
there.
was like in the. He was more for the marketing campaign where they showed him when he was young.
yeah.
Conferences and all that. It wasn't in the film.
Idris Elba doesn't cut it for the modern audience.
Well, so there's all that, and that's all silly. It starts off all right. They didn't need, they just don't even have that scene.
That scene reminded me of the Hulk, the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk,
Yeah,
where in the credits you get everything. If you've never seen the Hulk,
you just get told.
you get told in that
Yeah.
5-minute credits, you get a whole bunch of information, and that's it, done. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Because most people have a bit of an awareness of the Hulk. You know, maybe young kids don't, whatever, but you get the idea. I thought that opening scene, the flashback scene, could pretty much have been
Just
intersliced with the credits or something.
I personally don't. I'm not a big fan of. I like the idea of something happened to me many years ago, and now it's come back to bite me in the ass. I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't like retrofitted foreshadowing or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's been 3 other films.
Yeah.
We know his backstory. Like it's been say 5 years since he came out.
Yeah.
This Guy Pearce business. it's a little bit kind of tacked on.
Yeah, it's bolted on, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny that the only thing that's going to come back from his past and really impact him and force him to destroy all of his suits and give up the Iron Man life is one gimpy guy with problems. Not the alien invasion, not when he was nearly killed by foreign people in a foreign land with his own weapons and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's no greater arc to it.
Not the wrestler.
Whatever. Whatever that was.
And you think they would have learnt. Don't have the two bad guys in fucking one film. You know, don't have the geeky. The second film was the same. The film everybody hated was the same. You had the sort of smart, geeky bad guy, like, you know, the Hammer or whatever.
Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
When he comes out dancing on stage with those robots and stuff.
So, you know, you've got that.
Yeah.
And then you've got the actual...
The guy you can't understand.
Bad guy.
Yeah. With whips.
Yeah.
Whips. I don't understand.
His name's Whiplash, so he has to have whips.
I suppose, yeah. But it's not his actual surname, is it? It's not Ivan Whiplash. Ivan Whiplash sounds like, you know, a dodgy insurance
It's
claim.
Marvel when you call the characters their name and they're dressed in the suits. It's like Batman where...
Alliteration like Peter Parker and all that kind of like, it's very, very clear,
Anyway, so...
No good.
It's just not... There's just a lot of bits that don't make sense. And then it ends, the suits are shit. Sign me up for this extremist thing. I mean...
Is that what it is? Are we calling them dragon people?
Whatever.
Program extremists is the thing.
It's like, it's just... the suits... He doesn't defeat this guy. Gwyneth Paltrow is the fucking hero who... I've got an overarching problem in the whole Marvel thing is that there's been no consequences. In 6 films, nothing negative has happened to anyone else. Like,
no one's died.
No one's died.
Yeah, no one's died.
In all the carnage, everyone's fine and cracking jokes.
Yeah.
I mean, even like, wouldn't you have changed? Like, I can see that Tony Stark at the start of his whole Iron Man was a wisecracking asshole or whatever.
In the Hummer going through the desert. Like, take a photo. I love peace and all that. Quite funny and quite witty, and he does it really, really well. Him and Rhodey in that film have a really good thing.
Well, you feel that by now. He's not that guy anymore. You think, I've been through some shit.
Yeah.
My
Things have changed.
Being, I now have a wife, whatever she is. Yeah, like I'm a little bit more...
I've got 52,000 suits
that
all do different things, apparently. I don't know. I didn't understand that from a stylistic point of view. I live in a shed with a kid, which you can't do that in real life. That's probably the most unbelievable element of Iron Man 3. Was living in a fucking abandoned shed or whatever it was with a small child. Because if you try and do that in our world...
If you're rich and famous and you get found out living in...
you're done and dusted, mate. Yeah.
It's... So, there's all this just... stuff that work that's like Last Action Hero shit. Like the kid. The kid knows what he's doing.
It's like, kind of that Last Action Hero movie, and I don't want to say anything here that's going to cause offence to anybody because that's not what we're here for.
Unless you're retired.
Well, or you work for the film company that fucking made Iron Man 3 and you got fired because of the download rates. Last Action Hero to me seemed like the kind of movie that kids would go and see only with their weekend dad. So, I'm being serious, that's what I thought. So mum and dad aren't together anymore. Dad fucking goes off the rails, tends to happen. Mum's moved on and married some fucking rich guy who's doing the business or whatever. And then your dad's like, how's Steve? Does he treat you well? And you're like, just fucking watch your Last Action Hero, man. What do you do? Yeah, I knew him in high school and we used to pick on him. Like, well, fuck, he's got one on you now, doesn't he? The Last Action Hero is one of those movies that you'd only go and see with your weekend dad. You wouldn't make, oh man, I've got to go and see that film. And Iron Man 3 to me was kind of the same kind of thing. I sort of felt it because it was a similar. There's a kid in it, so you've got the appeal to the younger audience.
Yeah, I don't get the kid thing. No. Because it's right out of the 90s.
Yeah.
Fucking, it wasn't even good then, I guess.
It wasn't good since E.T. That ruined it.
Like,
Indiana Jones, different story.
Yeah.
Short round, fucking love all that, but...
No, I don't know, just I get why was it required? To tell a few jokes? Like,
yeah.
I'll put a kid in there, there'll be some funny bits.
It'll be endearing. He'll have a
producer talk. You know what I mean? Like it's all.
Yeah. Was it good to because I've blocked most of it out. Was it good to the story to have a child in there? Was it? I mean, I know it gives you a lot of presence,
but then I don't really watch these films as
on
art
any
house.
level,
You know, like just.
Was it a metaphor for his inner child? Was it autobiographical? Was it Shane Black as a young man and wanting to be?
But there was like that. There was the kid hero worship thing, or whatever that was. The kid's fucking smarter than him by the sound of it. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of the genius kids in the films.
Yeah.
Like there's so many film where the 13-year-old little girl knows everything that's going on, and I don't know. Like
I knew you were Batman because I was 4.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
came to my orphanage.
Yeah, and you make a face.
Yeah.
Like all that. Yeah, just anyway. So there's that, but then there's even that scene when the guy that's got the tattoo of him, he loves him, and he helps him, and he's all awestruck because he's Tony Stark's and I just like I don't know, like how much of that crap did they need to put in there? But anyway, so then comes the big fucking finale. And this is just movie-wide now.
Yeah.
Blow up lots of shit for 45 minutes. None of it's going to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Like, he's jumping around, he's getting his ass kicked, he gets in a suit. Oh, cool, he's about to, now he's in the suit. Yeah. Bang, gets hit by something. Was that supposed to be funny? I don't know. The suit blows up. He falls into another suit. Okay, now he's going to fight the guy.
Yeah.
No. The suit falls apart. And then it's just like this fucking mess of action. None of it matters.
No, there's no tension.
80 suits. 140 suits. All of which he didn't have access to throughout the whole film.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be cool if those suits appeared and there was maybe 2 or 3, and there was maybe 3 or 4 Iron Men kicking some ass. But when there was 40 or 50 of them,
it just doesn't matter.
And they were just
blowing up. It's just make this one a bit like this, make that one a bit like that.
This one's got jackhammers.
That's the jackhammer one. Yeah, it's like fucking Transformers.
But they do everything anyway. Everything he ever needed them to do, and he was fixing things underwater and going into space and shit was fine. Having one turn up with 2 fucking jackhammers or claws or something.
Yeah, why does it need to have? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't make any sense.
There was this whole Mission Impossible thing going on throughout the whole film. Like the door opened and he wasn't in the suit was being remote controlled, and he didn't realise that. It was like a little twist.
She was talking to it and stuff, like Pepper was talking to the suit.
Like there was just all this like little. I was expecting the masks to keep coming off people's faces, and like it just. So there was like way too many stylistic choices going on. So this big epic final battle where you think Pepper died, and you're like, okay, they've at least. Nah, she's fine. She's got the life-changing dragon extremist thing. She also knows how to fight because of it.
Yep.
So it gives you fire, but it also gives you ninja skills.
It's like a Pokemon thing, isn't it?
Like
she's leveled up.
Yeah. So she beats the guy who's had it forever and knows how to deal with it. So you don't even need a couple of weeks to get your head around.
Well, you don't lose your mind instantly because all of a sudden you got fucking
flames. So forget all that.
You're made out of that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. She kills the bad guy. Why? What was Iron Man 3, not Pepper Potts 1 or whatever? Like, it's just okay. Whatever.
No worries.
So the suits, the whole Iron Man thing doesn't mean shit.
Because you just need to
kill aliens. But this guy, let's get the extremist thing going on.
Yeah. Let's get up to the Avengers.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 extremist guys. One of them's slightly greener than the other.
Yeah.
Didn't she? Because she kicks a lot of ass. Did she kill Guy Pearce?
Yeah, she pretty much sorts of.
And what about his 2IC? There's that guy who pops up a lot now. He's in World War Z. He's in a few things. He's like the main bad dude up until Guy Pearce. What happened to him?
He
exploded.
He explodes on the plane. I think.
Oh, okay. So I don't even remember.
I remember.
But Pepper Potts, I do remember, got in the suit at one point and kicked out. Like did everything she needed to do.
Yeah. So
with split-second accuracy.
Because I thought, I could be wrong here, but I thought that shrapnel in his chest was the whole reason he could even...
The little reactor powered the...
I thought that was the only reason he could even have the suit.
Yeah.
So everyone's in a suit now. Everyone, like, it's all...
Iron Patriot. Easy to see just some guy in a suit.
It all just doesn't kind of matter anymore. Like, the character doesn't matter.
It really pulled the rug out from the first 2 films in the Avengers, I thought. I quite like the second Iron Man. I know a lot of people don't.
Yeah, it does.
Mickey Rourke is Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
So if you like him, then you'll like it. If you don't, you won't. Sam Rockwell makes it quite good for me. I like that. The scene where they're fighting the drones and then Whiplash comes down and whatever, and it's all a little bit like, oh, this is kind of popcorn action, and it fits.
But those action scenes, even though like they lead to they lead one step to the other.
Yeah.
This scene at the abandoned warehouse or whatever the fuck it is.
It's like a dockyard.
Like, I mean, it's again, that's just an 80s. You're at the dockyard or the abandoned warehouse. That's where the final.
They're shipping guns or something.
Yeah,
you bring the stuff.
Yeah.
You bring the cash. Show me that. Yeah.
Like that, again, that's just that might as well be Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
It's just. I don't know, it just all felt very CG. It's just, okay, we've got 1,000 things flying around, things are blowing up, nothing matters, everyone survives except the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's all inconsequential. She's now got the extremist virus. 3 seconds later, in a little montage of speaking, all his problems are solved. He just says, killed the extremist virus.
Yeah.
Because I'm the man. I got the shrapnel out of my chest.
Does he get the shrapnel out of his chest at the end of it?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Why the fuck has he...
Yeah, should have done this a long time ago. Whatever. He sorts all his troubles out, starts fresh.
Well, on the scale of difficulty, surely getting shrapnel out of your body is easier than destroying an alien invasion. Pretty much single-handed.
Yeah.
I mean...
So that's what I'm like, it all just wipe the slate clean. No consequence. Little ha-ha scene with the Hulk at the end in the credits.
Oh, the stupid one that everyone kind of went, when I saw it.
It wasn't fucking the one from the Wolverine where you're like, fuck.
Holy shit, yeah. That guy and that guy. Fucking Gandalf. Things are getting real. And the guy from Game of Thrones is mentioned and Trask.
Yeah, so it's not... It was just a joke. It was just like a little side wink.
Yeah, it was kind of an insider's little wig, like you say. But I wasn't on the inside on that one. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be involved with it.
No,
whereas the other ones I did, like the Avengers.
Because they were leading to something. They were like, you know, we're making a team.
Making the team. Yeah.
Or there's a hammer. Fuck.
What's going on?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like they all kind of had some significance to the greater picture. This is like we don't really know where we're going yet.
I just can't believe that.
This movie doesn't
do
anything.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's
doesn't
no
lead
point
to the next.
No.
Didn't tie in with the last.
Doesn't it fuck the next one? Because the Avengers 2's been made, it was in writing or whatever. Doesn't it fuck it by having, or is Pepper Potts going to be Iron Man in the Avengers 2? Because he's no shrapnel, all the suits are gone, he's left a lot of presents for a child.
But it just feels like, all that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he blew up all the suits. Because,
he could make another one.
Well, isn't that, that's just it. So I make another suit. That's it.
But what about the chest thing? Because doesn't he have the reactor out now?
Well, yeah.
Was it a big hole in his chest?
Because
she puts his hand. She puts her hand in his first one. How big? Has he got a small heart?
I don't know.
I'm asking a lot of questions here that I thought maybe the movie could answer, but obviously
I don't see that any of that's going to be more than 40 seconds worth of writing your way out of
forced exposition in Iron Avengers 2, where they're all finishing each other's sentences, doing a big whip around the fucking control room.
So then, I mean, let's just talk to that, because I think it's not Iron Man 3 that's the problem. It's this blockbuster culture bullshit where it's a blockbuster because it's got sponsors and it's got, you know, product placement. It's got comic book thing going on and a big name actor and a big name bad guy and fuckloads of CGI. Like movies, I don't know. I remember, you know, when I was a kid, you used to leave the cinema excited, and maybe kids are still being. So I do feel that way when they leave, but I just leave these films, which aren't even targeted at kids anyway. The way I used to remember them being targeted.
No, they're in that middle ground where they want geeky people and their girlfriends or their groups of friends or whatever. They want those 20 to 30-year-old comic book fans, sci-fi fans, fantasy fans, fans of hot chicks, fans of cool cars, fans of loud explosions.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to put in as much as they can to appeal to the widest audience. It's like when you search in Google, you type in all your keywords and you hope to get what you want. They're kind of packing in all those key demographics.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I think it's by the by that kids will probably going to go see it, but at the same time, it's because it's not just Iron Man 3, you know. Just you mentioned throwaway Star Trek comment before.
Yeah.
I don't know who that's targeting. Like,
well, it wasn't me. And I like the first one, and I'm a movie goer. I like going. It's kind of what I do.
Because it's not... Star Trek movies used to just target Star Trek fans.
Yeah.
It was never a movie. Movies were kind of the bonus. Like I don't...
To the show.
Yeah, I don't imagine... They made money over the years, but not that much.
Yeah.
Some were better than others in that respect, but... You don't feel that that's where Star Trek made its money.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you were watching TV shows, buying shit.
Yeah. All the collectibles and the shirts and
just
uniform.
fan club stuff. And,
Yeah.
You know, it's a subculture, right?
Yeah.
And comic books used to be the subculture. You know. Now all this stuff has blended together into Comic-Con culture or whatever. Like,
that's it, mate. That's exactly what it is.
Because when I went and watched that Star Trek movie, because I'm fucking
hardcore,
fucking Trekkie, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm watching that movie going, this may as well be
Star Exploration Team. Yeah.
You know, like it might as well be Starship Troopers. It might as well be bad guys in outer space. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the same plot beat. There's a bad guy, twist, he lets himself get captured. It's only 30 minutes in, so you know
it's not done and dusted. Yeah.
You know, it's James Bond, Skyfall, same thing.
Yeah.
They're just the same kind. You're just watching it going, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh, now there's going to be a whole bunch of CGI, because that's cool, because now there's lots of action.
Yeah.
Sound.
Apparently that's what we're looking for is loud movies. Because it seems to me that you could have essentially done that movie and Speed on the bus and essentially done the same. Doesn't need to be in outer space. Doesn't need to be massive journeys and travels and ship battles and whatever it was.
There weren't any...
Wasn't
they
any
had
of
left Earth in fucking 2 movies.
It
just feels a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's not an outer space movie. It's just an action flick, and
because there aren't any action flicks like Rambo fucking 12 or whatever. And the Expendables, but they're not really. They're kind of shitty and.
Well, the Expendables is just the nostalgic thing.
Yeah. You only watch it if you're our age or a bit older, and you remember those guys in their prime.
Yeah.
But there's no like. Coming out Predator or Terminator, like the original one. There's no action for action's sake. It's always got this massive scale to it.
Yeah, and they're not. But they don't even have a. See, you talk about Speed. No, I'm not going to say that Speed was the best movie ever made. But there used to be this hook, this thing. Okay, they're on a bus. It can't go under 50. That's the There's something in that.
That's the premise.
Yeah.
And so whatever happens is based off that premise.
Yeah. You know? Like, so then, it jumps over a fucking valley and, you know, like, it's all this far-fetched crap.
Yeah,
that doesn't make it a shit film. That's just, that's where they spend the money on the, you know, effects or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's that premise. There's no fucking rules in these films.
Yeah.
Like, there's no... It just do whatever. Just CGI it.
Yeah, we'll put it in post.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, fucking...
Same thing.
They were all like... They went to the Calculon School of Acting. I'm acting now! It was so fucking bad. You and I saw that at the movies. They ran out of popcorn. Fucking what? Not in the film, in the cinemas.
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
Yeah, that's a whole other...
And that was don't even start me. And then... The movie was so bad in all the bits, like in all the Kevin Costner bits, We were laughing. I was going, hee, and I went, oh shit, I should shut up because Lorenzo might really be enjoying this. I look across and you're giggling as well, like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And his dad goes, oh no, son, Kale, it means hope, whatever, fucking. And then he disappears. And I was like, ha ha ha, dances with fucking. Like, are you serious, man? People were going in the cinemas and stuff. I was like, fuck off.
But yeah, like there's no. What's the thing there? Take out a city in the computer.
Oh, don't even start me. Like, the movie was bad in itself, but that end scene where he's punching the shit out of
Take that scene, put it in fucking Iron Man 3, none of it matters.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's just a city.
Yeah.
It's not Metropolis.
yeah, it's just
It's not
New York.
Gotham City. It's not. Yeah, it's just
It's
New York.
all New York.
Yeah,
Batman, it's New York. This one, it's New York. They're not. There's no. You know. Oh, the Gotham's the dark one. No, it's
just the same.
It's the same
Yeah.
fucking thing. They're just generic New York City.
Well, we already drew a whole bunch of buildings for that other movie. Let's just copy and paste whatever.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is the same, obviously.
Put some Sears logos.
Yeah. Mountain Dew. Fuck. Anyone drink anything? No.
That's why it's hard. It just takes me out of these films.
Yeah.
Just watching it going, what the fuck are they thinking?
Yeah.
Or are they? Or does it matter? Does it even fucking matter? It's going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's all that really matters.
That's all that matters.
Well,
Michael Bay did it. No, sorry, not Michael Bay. Zack Snyder, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Singing about something else there. Singing about Team America. Michael Bay's not involved in this. Zack Snyder did it.
Yeah.
And he's got a weird reputation for doing films for nerdy, like he sort of like Sucker Punch and 300. He kind of takes them to that.
Yeah.
And the new Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
He kind of takes them sort of like pinpoint
Watchmen.
focus. Watchmen was a bit broader, and then they've all sort of opened up a little bit. But Man of Steel was just fucking appalling, and I don't know how many people does
like
it have.
nice cinematography, or whatever you want to call it, like some shots, some actual set piece,
A bit of framing, and a bit
and
nice.
this was just shaky cam.
Yeah, I remember you said to me, Kevin Costner's giving a speech to his son. Oh, son, don't do it, and blah, blah, fucking blah, whatever he was saying. I wasn't even listening, I was cracking up. And you go, oh, it might be boring, shake the camera. Because it's all on fucking shaky cam. Like it was found footage. Like it's fucking Paranormal Activity or some shit. Blair Witch Project.
Why does that scene, he's on the ute, in the back of Ute, and he's having a moral life fucking lesson or something.
Why does that need Michael J. Fox on the camera? If they had like a slow pan up or a shot from above coming down and they're all it would have been really impacting, but it just in the end it just was shit.
Fucking straight
on, shake the camera.
Right.
I don't understand anything in that movie. I'm not a big Superman fan to begin with, or Man of Steel fan to begin with.
I'm definitely not, but I just felt that looked... Okay, Zack Snyder, cast looks interesting.
We're their demographic.
Yeah.
Comic book people who are interested, who've got a bit of cash to buy the collector's fucking cup.
Yeah.
It's
just like, okay, it's just... This looks interesting. And, you know, I've even liked the Zack Snyder stuff that people don't like. So, I figured, you know, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Sucker Punch is a weird one for me because I really like the fantasy segments, but the actual bit that ties them all together I'm not a big fan of. But those fantasy segments are really good.
But the whole asylum or whatever that thing was, I don't even understand that well, but I kind of liked at least the way it was shot.
Yeah, it was very nice. The colours were very good.
Like, you know, the main guy was a bit fucking weird.
Mike Patton.
Yeah, Mike Patton. That guy. Yeah.
And Watchmen was amazing looking.
Yeah, I liked Watchmen.
I quite enjoyed it as well. I saw it at the cinemas at a preview with your mate, and I thought it was a really, really good movie. I wasn't a big fan of the comic book beforehand. Probably one of the only people that will say that. Right. I remember reading parts of it, but never all of it. But after it came out, I was really impressed. Great movie, great music, good cast. Like, no one really knew who any of those people were, but they do now.
Yeah.
That did really, really well. And then like you say, Man of Steel, massive reboot, massive amount of money, massive cast, massive production team who've now done all these great movies, some that weren't so popular, but they all, from a filmmaking point of view, I know 300 got bagged, but I think it was different, and difference should get, I quite enjoy it. I think difference should get applauded more than it does, because a lot of people say, just like a music video. It's like, well, maybe that was kind of the point. It was a bit action, boy, loincloth, fucking whatever. But Man of Steel had all these elements building it up, and it just fell flat every step of the way. Just so bad. The costume was so bad. It looked like fucking Spider-Man. He had webbing all over him.
Well, again, it's those checkbox.
Yeah.
Make this like that. Make it darker, like this.
Like Batman, whatever.
Spider-Man fucking costume was a bit darker.
In the next one.
You know, like just it all just ticked all these fucking generic. It's also these guys are super strong, so when they fight, they're gonna blow up the fucking whole building.
Yeah.
Why not? I don't know. I haven't thought about this, but why not take that somewhere else? Why not? Their fighting is so fucking out of this world.
Yeah.
That it all happens, and it's a fucking. It's I don't know.
On the moon or something.
It's in some fucking other dimension of speed that we don't see, and therefore they can just fight at normal speed.
Because they zipped around, didn't they? The bad guys in that movie. They were quite.
So why don't they just fight at normal speed? Like it's the background's all fucking out of blur. I don't know. I'm just just have a think about what can we do that's a little bit different.
We've got these two godlike beings punching the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
It's essentially Rocky. It's Clubber Lang and fucking Rocky Balboa having a go. Yeah, let's see it from their point of view. Something slightly different than
I don't know. Just
put shaky cam on them
and
just throw them through 40,000 buildings and no one dies.
Again with the no consequence thing.
Yeah,
there's no consequence to a fucking... Look what happened when the two towers went down in this planet. You know, I'm not going to get into all that.
Yeah,
just look at the consequence of that.
Phenomenal.
Global consequence.
Yeah.
A fucking city gets wiped out.
And there's nothing.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'll quickly touch on that in like the Wolverine.
Yeah.
You see the bomb go off at the start in Japan.
Yeah.
And the way that's shot, the little lead up to it, that had more impact than this whole fucking city which you're supposed to care about.
Yeah. We didn't see the city up until that point. We saw some bits with Lawrence Fishburne and fucking that guy and that chick.
Lois Lane or whatever fucking shit. Whatever her role in this film was.
Well, I think it was just so that Russell Crowe had someone to talk to.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all it was.
We need you up on that spaceship for absolutely no fucking reason.
Yeah. And Lois Lane's a big character in the comics and stuff and in the prior films and whatever. But in that particular thing, she wasn't written like she was important at all. So there's a big call for strong female characters in these things and whatever. And sometimes you see them try and force that in.
Yeah.
But in this case, there was one already there, and they just fucked it up.
Yeah.
Because she didn't do anything. Or she just kind of be a little bit annoying.
How many... This is the strong female character thing is funny because in real life, strong female characters aren't the ones who aren't girls who go around telling you how good they are.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the way they do it in these films.
Yeah.
Like...
in your face, brash attitude, sort of.
Uhura in Star Trek. So I'm the best at everything.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not...
Yeah.
Like, when I think of strong female characters, I think of, like, the English patient and the fucking girls, the nurse who's looking after.
Yeah.
Like, that's a strong female character. Someone who's not...
Doesn't wear a bullet belt. It's not Zoe Saldana in a singlet sort of thing.
And this Lois Lane is exactly that. I'm the best. I'm the fucking best. I'm the best reporter.
Yeah. But she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing at all. Because I think my understanding is
the mum was a fucking stronger female character. Diane Lane.
Yeah, true. Yeah, she did a good job in that movie. But I mean, whatever. My understanding is that the reason that the men in these films now are so ego muscly, the kings, is because of films in the 80s like Die Hard, Commando, like they built those tropes to sort of, and that's what people kind of like, that guy, like John McClane is a pretty heavy character in, popular culture and stuff. Everyone sort of knows the name McClane, but he's just a dude with it, who just runs around and it's just a good little movie and I say little, I don't mean that. I mean it's tight and it's concise. Yeah. It's not a massive.
Again, it's
like 20 buildings don't destroy.
No, that's what I was saying before. This is the premise. There's a guy
stuck in a building
with no shoes.
Yeah, with no shoes. Yeah, exactly
that's
right.
it. That's the
But in Man of Steel, aliens. World
thingies,
planet-forming, terror-watering from Oblivion with Tom Cruise, fucking, like all that stuff.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
Yeah, it's the fucking same. And there's a redhead, like, oh no, and then it doesn't really mean anything. When the thing that really, like, I was watching it and I thought, this isn't a very good movie, and that's okay. I don't like it, and that's okay. Yeah. But the thing where I got really fucking angry was when they were throwing each other through these buildings at the end, like you're talking about. Buildings are destroyed, everything's fucking leveled. Lois Lane's okay.
Yeah.
Superman's costume has not a mark on it. And he's been punching this dude, Zod, for like, what's his name, Michael Shannon?
Yeah.
Is that his name? So he's punching this guy for like fucking half an hour with nothing. He gets to the end, he's got him in a headlock. He's going to laser some kids. Yeah. For some reason, there's 4 people who got stuck.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, in my last, I'm going to fucking cut these people in half. Superman's holding him, hesitating to kill him. Yeah. Waiting. What more does this guy need to do?
There was no... We commented on that when we saw it, because it's like, when Russell Crowe and... that at the start of the film, you got a sense that they were friends or...
colleagues
they knew each other, and he knows the wife, and so you could see the hesitation of, fuck, I need to kill him, but...
Well, that was the betrayal, wasn't it? That was when Zod comes out and goes, I'm actually a bad guy, stab.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes, oh no, Zod's a bad guy.
Right. But you kind of got that sense of, fuck, Russell Crowe didn't want to kill him.
Yeah, totally.
So he hesitates. And
he pays the price.
But in terms of the end scene you're talking about, why would there be hesitation? There's not been any history between these two. This guy's fucked.
Yeah.
He just destroyed the town I grew up in.
Yeah.
He's just destroyed the whole fucking city. He's trying to destroy the planet.
The planet's also...
What am I hesitating about? In that context, Superman should, regardless of comic book ethos, fucking I don't kill people, whatever. In the context of that film, in that story, there's no thinking about it.
No, you just do it. Well, the thing that was weird was that he's watching the lasers go across the wall.
People were there or not.
Yeah, but even in that immediacy, even in those, if there's 6 people in that room, 4 of them are going to die. I better kill this guy, otherwise those people are going to die. Okay, the city's been destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay, the world's been destroyed.
Yeah.
So this guy on every level is a bad prick.
Yeah.
The thing that really did it was when he broke his neck and he killed him, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I thought, you have been throwing this guy through fucking buildings for 10 years of my life now, and everything is destroyed. Rubble, fire, explosions, glass, steel, punches, kicks, fucking headbutts, the works. And he's got not a broken bone on his body. Not a thing, but you can stab his neck. So if his skin could be impervious to everything, that's fine. But he would still have internal...
the physics don't even...
Laser beam his fucking skull off or something. Do something.
Again, that final scene happens in the central station or whatever, that set that gets used in every film ever.
Yeah.
Untouchables, the final scenes in that.
Yeah, it's in...
Agador final scene.
Yeah,
right?
American Train Station 101.
Yeah, it's in the X-Men when Cyclops lasers the roof.
That's right, his eyes go up and he's...
Yeah.
And in this one, Superman, Zod's eyes are laser and things as well.
There you go.
Parallels.
Well,
maybe they'll do a crossover.
Right.
So I won't see it.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it's not Metropolis. It's just wherever the fuck they can film on set.
Wherever it's quite cheap to film.
Yeah, or whatever.
Wolverine was Parramatta.
Yeah.
Which was fine, because you didn't fucking know it watching the movie. You didn't go, oh, that's Parramatta Station.
Yeah.
There was none of that shit going on.
No.
Incidentally, you wouldn't want to film at Parramatta Station. Oh, you fucking Wolverine, are you? Blam. I'm going to Westfield.
Yeah. Well, that's the, it just doesn't feel right. That sort of...
Tim Burton, Batman, was a big deal when it came out.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. And I went and saw it at cinemas. And the buildings were really Batman.
Proper Baroque fucking stuff.
Awesome.
There's that style, they could probably a whole different thing, very stylized.
Even the Batman posters for the Christopher Nolan ones, and I'm just going to let you know right now, I'm not getting involved in a Batman discussion now.
Yeah.
We'll do that another day, because I got fucking comments about that film, mate. I'm a no one, and that's fine, but I saw that movie twice, and anyway.
Yeah.
But even the posters had that claustrophobia, closeness of the city, you're trapped and you can't get out kind of thing. Metropolis was just big empty fucking buildings that all look the same. And there was that scene when he's grabbing a Lois Lane and they're doing like a bit of a pan around, a bit of a whip around, and everything was fucking gone there. Yeah. Everything was gone. There was no people, no bodies.
They had a nice little kiss or something.
Yeah, they have a nice little...
Is that what's like...
I was always going to come back for you. Some little thing.
Someone I know must be dead in this environment. You know what I mean? Like, the whole city is wrong.
Even the guy who sells you your coffee, some guy you've met has just died, as long with a million other people, 500,000 other people, and we're going to stop and have a bit of a fucking pash in the middle of it all. And doesn't Lawrence Fishburne come up and go like, no, guys, isn't there some kind of little levity to it that's not really required? Because they do that at the end when the chick goes, he looks good in that suit, or check out his cock, or whatever the fuck. I don't know what she says, but something like that.
Just, all these unnecessary, unprofessional / unrealistic / not what you would do in that. And it's not the film. This is the other thing. Like if John McClane makes some half-assed, or fucking Con Air, there's some joke at the end. And I worked out better this way. That's the film. That whole film is not taking itself seriously.
No,
and that's fine. This movie, where it's gone for that, Kevin Costner doing serious, Russell Crowe doing serious exposition or whatever. Like, then you need to finish it. Like you need to do that. Okay, it's a serious film.
We've got to carry that through all the way.
You can't be cracking jokes.
No. Not after an entire city. The biggest city on the planet, if I understand Superman law right, has been flattened, and now everyone's Lawrence Fishburne's okay, high five, generic Spanish female soldiers okay, Michelle Rodriguez, his younger sister, whoever the fuck she is, she's fine, that's great news. I don't know, man.
That's
that was
why that bothers me. I think you touched on that before. The cycle around finish each other's sentence when you're talking about something. None of you should have any farm boy, reporter, Lawrence Fishburne guy, and the scientist guy.
Generic.
Fucking whatever. Jeff Goldblum wasn't around.
Let's go faster.
So they're explaining how they're going to stop what are they fucking called? World Menders?
Terraformers or something? I don't remember.
Right? They're explaining how they're going to stop them. And they're saying all this science class shit to each other. And they're all finishing off.
And they're all scientists.
They're
in the back of a plane or something, aren't they?
I'm going to do this, and then you're going to do that, and then...
Lois Lane, the reporter, what you need to do is go to that big bag of chemicals, get out a 300ml baking flask, or whatever.
It's all, and then, and then... Henry Cavill finishes it with, whatever he says. I think it'll work. It's like, you didn't even know where you were from 3 minutes ago. It doesn't make sense.
You know what it's like? It's like, and this is one of those extended similes from Blackadder, it's like in Star Wars when Luke Skywalker, and I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I'm trying to remember, when Luke Skywalker gets on the Millennium Falcon and he's talking to Obi-Wan, and he goes, the Force, and then Han Solo goes, I don't believe in the Force or whatever, and then Luke Skywalker's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? The Force is amazing and blah, 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 and they do it in Family Guy, and then he goes, what are you talking about, the thing that you've only just learned about like 5 minutes ago? What the fuck are you talking about, man? It's kind of like that, what are you guys...
you wouldn't know what some alien spaceship terraforming device, how to stop it. Let's shoot some missiles at it. Like, that's all we know.
That's exactly right. Tanks in, planes in, everything. In most of the other movies, that seems to be hit the military button, and all of the military turn up. Like in Cloverfield, or I think even in the Hulk.
That's all we would know how to do. Like, we wouldn't know about its computer programming like, if we do this and that, I think it'll work. And blah. And
they don't use Nortons in outer space.
If it was going to be anyone,
Yeah.
it would be some team of scientists trying to figure that out.
Who aren't on the planet,
No,
who aren't lifting the heavy equipment
Yeah.
and shit. One of them doesn't have a fucking heavy machine gun and stuff.
That's what bothers. Like I just glaze it. Like it would just goes over my head when they start doing that.
They
like
wouldn't be Americans to figure it out in the first place. Anyway,
yeah.
there'd be some heavy accents to be figuring that shit out. You would imagine.
Yeah, well, that's what. I just watched that guy. This is take Superman and put fucking Schwarzenegger or whatever.
Jason Bourne,
It just
John
doesn't matter.
McClane, yeah.
This is generic.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with Superman.
Well, it's funny because Superman, it's called Man of Steel, and in the trailer, we've talked about it before. Fuck that. Anyway, it was really, really funny. And she goes, "Oh, it looks like an S. We should call you Superman."
Yeah.
And the microphone squealed. We don't want to say Superman. And all through the movie, for like the first 90% of it, they hadn't said it, and it was kind of. It was almost a thing that wasn't a thing. It was kind of like, they haven't called him Superman. And it was almost like that card thing. They haven't called Cardi. We don't know who he is. And obviously, but anyway. And then the microphone squeals and she doesn't get to say it. And it's like, that's kind of an inside wink.
We're not going to use that.
We're not going to use that term. That's dated.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, some fucking 14-year-old guy comes in and goes, Superman. We call him Superman. Superman is it Superman?
Yeah.
He says it about 4 times.
Everyone's calling him on the internet. Who's on the fucking internet? The whole city's flattened.
There's aliens have landed. They're sucking the oceans out. They're killing motherfuckers left, right, and centre. I'm just going to log into Facebook and see what's got Superman. That's a good name. It means hope, motherfucker. Check out his official Facebook page. It says it all there. It was just really funny. They hadn't said it, and all of a sudden this kid comes in like he had the old script. Like he hadn't read the new Zack Snyder, we're not using it script. Superman. That's what we're calling it. It's Superman. It's like, no, we're not. We're not calling him that.
I just don't. I don't get what.
Movies in general, man.
These types of films, which are when I hear negative reviews of something like the Wolverine, I think, what the fuck do you want? Because I watched that and went, not the best movie I've ever seen. Yeah. But it was a film. Like it was shot like a film. It was
there was some effort.
There was just a very tight little story going on. Yeah. Not perfect, but they just had a premise. There was a thing to it. This guy wants what he has. Yeah. That's it. It
was better than a lot of the other ones, and I've got some friends who have rubbished it, and that's fine because people are entitled to their opinion. If they want to be wrong and disagree with me, that's up to them. So they really rubbished it, and I thought, similar to you, well, in the scheme of superhero movies, let's just compare it to that sphere of the ones that have come out. It's one of the better ones, particularly lately. It was way better than Man of Steel. It was way better than Star Trek 7-2. Roman numeral, whatever it's fucking called. It was way better than Iron Man 3.
Yeah. As a film, as an actual...
If it was Jason Bourne movie or a John McClane or any other guy, you slot them in, the actual film, the structure, you feel like they had storyboards. Whereas Superman... I don't even feel like they had an idea of where it was going to go.
Just do a bunch of exposition. It's almost like the exposition was retrofitted in because someone said, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, they shot
Russell Crowe in so he can explain shit.
What the fuck?
And it'll be some good Gladiator-esque over voice for the trailer.
With the voice, because they kill him off and I go, sweet, Russell Crowe's out of the picture. That's fantastic. Not that I have that anti-Australian acting thing. Some people are like, Australian movies. It's not about that. It was just like, it's fucking Russell Crowe. And then they bring him back, and he's in it longer as a dead guy, as a hologram, as a ghost, than he ever was at the start.
But he wasn't like a recording. He was just, he might as well have been there.
Exactly. And he was supposed to be a recording. Yeah. He was supposed to be like, well, I can't answer that because I'm not...
don't have the information.
This happened after I was killed or whatever.
No, he's just
Russell Crowe.
Yeah. He's saying whatever he needs to say in every scene.
It's kind of like Ghost Dad with Bill Cosby. He's kind of like that. He turns back, I'm the dad. You can't hurt me. Move to the left. Yeah. I would have gone, what are you talking about? And been punched. Yeah. But Lois Lane goes, move to the left, and then gets out of the way, and the laser beams go off. It was just a really weird filmic thing.
That whole scene doesn't make any sense. She should, he wants you as well on the show.
Yeah. And he never talks to her.
Go in the brig. Escape. There's no... It's
talk to
just-
Russell Crowe for a bit.
yeah,
that was what it
that's
was.
all it was.
Yeah,
that,
they needed
that doesn't
her.
make sense in a film structure.
I think that was her punishment for being a redhead, was having to talk to Russell Crowe. That's what you
Makes
get.
sense.
That's what you get.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I just quickly, I don't like when someone comes along and just makes a film, and it's actually has a good sentiment to the comic book
Yeah.
Wolverine
Yeah.
stuff. I don't get the rubbishing of that because it's like that's actually fairly tight, structured, well shot, nice visuals, good action sequence.
James Mangold, is he the guy who did it? Yeah.
You know, he's not a fucking action guy. He's done a few.
Well, he's not Shane Black, thank
No,
God,
no.
because he would have made it similar to Iron Man 3
You almost feel like he come on and said, "Oh, you want a film made? Okay, I'll make a film."
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, get a script together,
Yeah.
storyboard it.
He had the Wolverine script, and he had the latest thing by
Yeah.
Christopher McQuarrie or
Right,
something that it could have been,
Yeah.
7-2 or Usual Suspects 2,
Yeah.
and he picked Wolverine and he made
Yeah.
it in a similar sort of way.
Yeah.
He's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
He's not a name
Right.
that you put on the top of a
Yeah,
poster to
so-and-so's
get people in.
Wolverine, yeah.
Because you put Bruce Willis, you put Hugh Jackman, you put whatever on the poster
Yeah.
to get people in.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder, Michael Bay, those names are also similar to that, where they're quite big.
Yeah, get people in.
But then they turn out absolute
Yeah,
shit. Whereas
yeah.
James Mangold's a filmmaking guy. He's the director.
Yeah.
He's not the draw card.
Right.
And because of that, he delivers. Because he doesn't have that kind of, he just seems to be able to deliver everything. And everyone else like that,
Yeah.
who makes those kinds of films that you go, well, it wasn't too bad, It
As soon
wasn't.
as they get a big name, that they start doing shit.
It seems to be, well, they can do whatever they want because they're the filmmaker
Yeah.
and we trust them.
Yeah.
We're paying them $1 trillion.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly correct,
Yeah.
but you kind of get that feeling walking out of these things.
Yeah, so that's for this year was supposed to be the big. And forget money and all that. Like this
Yeah,
was
yeah.
supposed to be the year where you went, fuck, Iron Man 3 was awesome, Superman was awesome, blah blah blah.
Batman 3 came out this year?
No,
Or was that last
sorry,
year?
end of last year.
End of last year.
Was
Okay,
it?
okay.
Yeah. Like you just feel like this period was
Yeah.
supposed to be this like,
Yeah,
wow, they're all
huge.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And the Wolverine was the one that was like,
The letdown.
that one's gonna be shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
the last one, and I thought that was the only one I walked out of and went,
This is
that
alright.
was pretty good.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was what and not that in these universe movies, that one actually it's a little standalone little episode,
Yeah.
and they ended on the big fucker is coming.
Yeah.
You know the way that ends with that
Totally.
little bonus scene. It's like, okay, that was just a little episode in
Yeah.
a series of. It didn't have to be the best film you've ever seen. If
Yeah.
it's part of 8 other films, it's just a nice little standalone story.
Yeah.
Next week,
Yeah.
it's
Next issue.
next issue.
Because it's very comic booky
Yeah.
in its presentation, I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Whereas none of the other ones are.
Next issue, Days of Future Past or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's back. Fucking back. This is gonna.
Yeah, it's all going to kick off.
Yes.
Kind of like the end of the Avengers. And I know a lot of people weren't a big
Yeah.
fan of Thanos turning up.
Yeah.
I actually thought,
Well, you like-
holy shit,
Shit's gonna get
this is going to be
next level
This
up.
was nothing.
Yeah.
Because he is the guy.
Yeah.
So that alien invasion, they were just generic aliens. They
Right.
weren't the super beings that Thanos and his
No.
mate are. And this is going to get real.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones, like Zod, was just a guy. At some point, he grew a fucking beard.
Yeah.
He decided to grow some stupid little Tony Stark looking fucking
Yeah.
in
Always
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to have.
Yeah.
And is it a throwback to the original? I don't know. Did Terrence Stamp have a beard? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because he just turned up. I'm Zod with the beard. Well, it wasn't even really. It was just kind of like toe hair on his
Yeah.
chin or whatever.
Goatee thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what they don't. Yeah, they don't all need to be massive stories. You know, like you can just do a little isolated because you've got another 1,000 to do.
Oh, totally. Don't burn out now.
Yeah.
My favourite films are a bit like that. Like Sunshine is set on a spaceship and there's six people, seven people. The Thing with that guy whose name I can't remember, Kurt Russell, not Kirk Douglas. Kurt Russell was set at Ice Station, small. You know, Usual Suspects, small. The biggest thing that happens in that is the explosion on a boat, and that was it. Like they're all reasonably, like even Seven, small cast, really small script, small ideas. These comic book movies are the distillation of 30 years of a character over 1,500 storylines who then appear in one-offs and crossovers and linkages, and they turn up here and there and everywhere. They've taken all of that and got its essence and put it into a movie. And when you're talking about that and how they don't link up to the comic books, which I agree with you is bullshit, the Wolverine one is quite good in that regard. There's a couple of things I thought, if you're holding off on the MA rating for Wolverine, then who are you saving it for? Because out of all of them, he's really the one.
But they're never going to, I don't think they'll ever do that.
And you're probably right, and that's probably a good thing. And it's not about blood and swearing and violence and stuff, because the Wolverine did deliver on the character that he wanted. He wasn't smoking a cigar, and that's okay. But, you know, those little changes are fine because you get the basic essence of that character. Man of Steel, I got no fucking idea what Superman's all about. Because he's about letting a city be destroyed, letting the planet get fucked, letting his girlfriend get fucking mind raped by his dead father, and then he's about watching 4 people get killed by laser eyes before cracking a guy's fucking neck. There's a lot of punching in the face in these movies. He's not exactly fucking Superman. He hasn't done, means hope, he hasn't done anything yet. And then he waits and he waits and he waits, and the guy's getting fucking contact heat from the burning of the. He's like, and then he cracks his neck, and it's like, mate, you should have done that. Oh, capture me, I'm fine. Fucking Superman, go and kick some ass.
I know. That's the thing. I mean, the campy stuff, the old movies, it was all very Superman. Look, I'm flying. Look, I'm fucking doing all this, you know.
Look, green screen. Or blue screen back then.
But it was. But it all was very, very. You know, super guy. You know?
Stuff that you hadn't really seen.
It's flying off him, and like it was all new now.
Well, he was Batman, wasn't he? Wasn't he Batman in that movie? Was it because he was wearing a dark suit? He was all Mr. Dower, and he didn't want to talk about his backstory, and then he's punching motherfuckers left and right, which is what Batman does. Superman, wasn't he more concerned with the bigger...
I'm going to grab this missile and throw it into the sun or whatever.
Isn't that the kind of thing?
Because it's no one can do that.
I'm the only one who can do it. As far as punching these guys...
What does he do? He flies around the planet
and time goes backwards.
I mean, it's
because he wanted to save Margot Kidder.
That's no more silly than 4 dipshits knowing what a scientist was.
Absolutely. But it's more obviously silly. And people aren't really looking for the less obvious. And I understand wanting to go and see a movie and shovel popcorn in your mouth. I do that too, and I quite enjoy it. But what we're being served now is so ridiculously bad on so many levels, and it stands out to me like a fluorescent light as much as flying around and changing time. The kid at Niagara Falls, look at me, I'm on the pole, and I think it's number 1. And then he catches him and he flies up, and everyone goes, "Oh, what the fuck, it's Superman!" Like, that's a bit cheesy and a bit corny, but it's better than, and it serves the character better than having Lois Lane get captured by some other chick in spandex, go up on a ship, talk to fucking Russell Crowe's hologram, and then escape and serve no purpose at all. It may as well be a cheesy, corny one-liner instead of... because it doesn't do anything for the greater story.
I agree,
And like you said, the Avengers, all their characters in that film, and then all the Avengers films, and all their individual films, there's a large sort of universe that's been created separate from the comic books. It's been created in a filmic way now. So having Iron Man at the end do all that shit and disown everything and blow everything up and Pepper Potts is fine, what does that serve? Because you're not making a one-off standalone movie.
They're coming back next week.
They're coming back, exactly right. And the Wolverine, like you said, doesn't have that problem because it is one episode in many stories. You know the next time you open up the pages, he's going to have dusted himself off, he's going to be sorting his shit out, and he'll be adamantium again, his claws and whatever, and that's okay because that's what it's about. The world wasn't in peril. He didn't go and save.
That's what I liked about
a billion people.
No C got fucking punched to death. Like, just that's
exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened in Man of Steel. We're going to go and punch this fucking city to death. We're going to kill a helicopter with a car. It's exactly that same fucking thing.
I don't know. I felt like that was,
I'm not done. I'm not done. Keep talking. Oh, man. Oh, fuck. Punch the city to death. no cities were punched to death in the making of this film, which is fine because they don't have to be. They don't fucking have to be. And the problem is, in my opinion, and I've been wrong before, because they can do it all in CG, because they can afford the budget, because they know they're going to make their money back 100-fold, they do it.
Yeah.
There's no one in this room who goes, hang on, guys. When we just had 4 people and fucking a cape on a wire and a blue screen, we wouldn't have done this because we were limited by the technology of the time.
Well, even then you wouldn't have done it. They could have built a fucking miniature set and burnt it down.
True.
They didn't do it because it didn't serve the story any purpose. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
It just would have looked shit because it would have been a miniature city and paper burning. You know,
you're trying to put me out of a fucking job here. But I know, but you're right. And they could have done it, and it wouldn't have looked good, and it probably went, well, then we won't. It doesn't fit our story. It doesn't look good. Why are we trying to do it? But now you can make whatever you want in computer land, except for the actor who plays the Mandarin.
Right.
And you can destroy it, and there's no consequences.
Right.
I guarantee you, if they had people in that rubble at the end of Man of Steel, they wouldn't have done it.
Oh no, it would have been like, oh, we can't have this. Kids are going to watch this film.
Yeah, we can't be doing this. It's too similar to other real world events. Yeah. Kids are going to watch this film. We don't want anyone to die. So at what point does the whole city get evacuated that they can then punch to death? So he can kiss her in the middle of the fucking...
There is something, and you touched on it before when the guy was like, oh, you know, on Twitter they're calling him Superman.
Yeah.
And it's something there's been a flip where these sorts of films used to add to pop culture. And now they take. So Superman running into a phone booth, ripping his shirt off, coming out of Superman, that was something that came into popular culture and would be, you know, mimicked and made fun of.
Yeah.
The Matrix, the whole slow motion dodging bullets was then infiltrated pop culture, and you saw it in every other movie as a joke, as a parody.
And people referenced it, didn't they? They're like, what am
me
I?
And you would be talking, and
someone bird would shit on me, or someone would throw something like, oh, the fucking
Matrix. Hair.
Like, neither of us have any hair, but go on.
Like these things, you know, a movie should be adding. There is like fucking Tarantino all over the place. You know,
all the quotes, all the lines.
The references, the fucking Scarface or whatever it might be.
Even the music. The way the music is now.
The way of spaghetti westerns. And
totally.
What? Star Trek and fucking green bitches and... What? These movies don't add anything to popular culture.
No, you're right. They're built from it, aren't they? They're like self-referential and they're also taking from the time. Twitter and like it's that you know, they've all got fucking iPhones or whatever. Like it's not... But they've never got iPhones. They've always got the brand that no one has. Yeah, you know, who needs the fucking
Sony or whatever? Right? They're just walking out the marketing.
I think that's probably the best point that any of us has ever made ever about movies. Is that generally, you can bow. That's fine. Generally,
no one's listening.
Well, fucking not Zack Snyder. That's for sure. Then generally, they're supposed to add something, leave us something. So you make a film. There's a quote. There's an idea. There's a theme, or there's some music. Or there's a whatever that then permeates into the popular culture. Whereas now, as you said, what they're actually doing is taking from what real world popular culture is and just representing our film. That's bang on, mate. That's really good.
It's quite frustrating.
Yeah.
Because
why do you want to go?
People, when people were talking, the whole Khan thing. Is it going to be Khan? And when I was listening to that, I'm like, he's not Khan. Even if that character, they start calling him Khan.
He's not the guy.
That's not Khan. That's not... Because, when you adapt from a comic book, then you can go, oh, he's going to be the fucking Green Lizard or whatever. Right? Because that's not been done. That character didn't exist in the movie land ever. So you're just going, oh, that character, he might turn out to be Dr. blah, blah, blah. Right? And that's okay, because you're like, oh, it's, this reboot of Star Trek, which is a live-action thing, it's always been there. There is no way, as a fan, I couldn't give a fuck. I'd rather he wasn't Khan.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not going, oh, it's Khan, oh my God. It's not. You've rebooted the story. It's fucking the guys who wrote Transformers. Captain Kirk's this smart-ass fucking sleazeball.
Yeah.
Who's like
slamming chicks.
Yeah, like, and again, he's slamming chicks because that's the jokes. Like I was saying before, they borrow from pop culture.
Yeah.
It's not, oh yeah, Captain Kirk. Oh yeah, he didn't bang a green chick. Oh yeah, the Eddie Murphy thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the extent of how much Chris Pine has to do with what Captain Kirk was.
Yeah.
Because anyone who watched Star Trek for real knows that Captain Kirk was really good. He was charming. He knew his shit.
Yeah.
He wasn't a fucking sleazebag, smart-ass who relied on everyone around him to know what they were doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's actually top of his game. That's kind of the point. That sort of Spock hadn't, suppressed his emotions. He wasn't an angry fucker, which is what
in the film.
He's just an angry guy.
Punching people.
Not having no emotion doesn't make you angry. It makes you have no emotion. You know what I mean? In fact, those are the emotions you're suppressing the most.
Yeah,
the
negative.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it.
He throws a lot of fucking punches
he's very
in that
angry.
film, doesn't he?
Yeah, like he's really,
Yeah.
It's just they take all the caricatures of the characters and all the pop culture references of the characters, not
and
the character
back in
actual and throw them into fucking Casper Van Dien, Starship Trooper type.
Yeah.
Everyone's fucking rah cool and
we're all
good looking,
Miami or
young. It's
that
was someone I know at the time who knew nothing about Star Trek. They were like, why are they all fucking young brats? I thought when in Star Trek they were all kind of a bit older and a bit more sensible.
Yeah.
Like, that's
because they want to get more films out of them. Isn't that like a real world problem?
Yeah.
Like, we can't hire someone who's 30.
You don't want a Harry Potter issue or something.
Yeah. Because Carl Urban, I think, is the oldest guy in there.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be old.
Apart from RoboCop, of course. Right. But in the he's a bit older in Star Trek lore. But apart from that, they're all like 28, 29 or whatever.
Ish, whatever they are.
Why are they in charge of a fucking spaceship?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense in Star Trek. It makes a lot of sense in fucking new movies now.
Yeah.
Where you just rattle off some cool sounding dialogue
that no one ever says in real life.
No, or that doesn't. It does definitely. They don't speak that way in the Star Trek universe, and this is what kind of bothers me about these films. Is the whole point of Star Trek is a future that's nice.
Yeah.
We've got them through all this petty bullshit, like let's go get pissed at the club and pick up chicks or whatever. Like in that real, I don't know, OC fucking sense of like this, the coolest dudes picking up the chicks and like ordering shots and like the whole point of Star Trek is to go, you know what, one day that won't be our focus.
Yeah.
We'll be exploring the galaxy, we'll be bettering ourselves, whatever.
They'll be dealing with, and I'm not a fan, but let me try and put it, they'll be dealing with new problems that we don't have yet because we don't know other beings, we don't have a greater understanding of the world and the galaxy and the universe. Yeah. We're not punching farm boys while we're pissed trying to shag some chick.
Right. That's
gotcha.
And that's when I watch these films. I'm like, what? This again? This might as well be Superman.
Yeah.
This might as well be fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Fast Five. Like it doesn't actually matter. This isn't Star Trek at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing about this. And that's why the smart ass kid is running a starship 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
Because who gives a fuck? Like
there's
no rules.
consequence.
There's no consequences. There's no anything. It's just he's the cool guy running around, fucking shooting. They fucking murder the guy at the end without any. They're like laughing about it.
Yeah, high five.
Yeah, and it's like, hang on, this is not what these. You know, like, and it's just.
It's very much like a. I don't want to reference Speed again, but I think it was Dennis Hopper and they.
Yeah.
You know, it just seems like that kind of thing. Or the end of Patriot Games with the IRA Sean Bean guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a bad guy.
Yeah.
And we just kill him and then we all go back to normal.
Yeah.
Irrespective of everything else that's going on.
Yeah. And that's why I said when they go, it's Khan, I'm like, no, it's not. You don't get to care. Like, why do people who aren't Star Trek fans give a shit if it's Khan or not? Because I don't. And I understand.
And you are Star Trek fans.
So if it was fucking Khan and it was Ricardo Montalban came out, it would be like, hey, it's fucking Khan. Oh my god, they
thawed him out and they fucking brought him back. Yeah.
Like, that would be because I guess the this culture of ADD and quick and just reboot it because it's not cool anymore, or it's like you don't get a moment like that. You don't get to have a moment of, oh my fucking god, it's Khan from 20 years ago and now he's like he never died, or like you don't get a moment like that when you're rebooting things.
No.
So you don't touch on before that the Wolverine, fucking Picard and Gandalf coming out at the airport. That's fucking awesome. So who cares if there's a couple of bad episodes in the greater scheme of things?
Yeah.
You get that fucking moment where it's actually them.
Yeah, and you care.
Yeah.
You go, oh fuck, and they're together.
Yeah.
They're not biffing and
It's
carrying
not
on.
a reboot. Like that wouldn't work if this Wolverine movie was a reboot and it wasn't Hugh Jackman. It was fucking Fassbender or someone else, or whoever the fuck the next Momoa.
Might be fucking
Whatever, right? Whoever the next cool fucker is.
Yeah.
Right, and it's a reboot, and then it's not fucking Patrick Stewart. It's some other fucking.
It'll be
fucking.
No, I know who it'll be. It'll be Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston, and and it's,
Viggo Mortensen as Magneto or something like that.
It doesn't. You don't get to go, oh my god, it's them, because it's not. It's a reboot. They're starting again, and now they're trying to fucking whack that in there as if it matters.
There's no new creation.
Yeah.
They're just reimagining stuff that didn't need it.
Yes.
And it's a lesser version. It's like when you watch VHS cassettes and you dub them and you copy them and you take them and you watch them and they eventually degrade.
Yeah.
All that we're really seeing is the degradation of the greater.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid when they got into Lord of the Rings, as a big Lord of the Rings fan, when they got into The Hobbit. Now I know that the movies aren't extremely close in some regards, but in other regards they are, and I'm just happy that they've made those into films. But as far as being a true representation of the books goes, it's probably not really even that close. I mean, especially The Hobbit, the new one coming out, there's a bit of an issue with strong female characters, so they've put a female elf in there. I saw a lot of articles at the time saying Tolkien had no strong female characters, that's bullshit, we need this, we need that. And I made the argument that there were no fucking humans in it. Like in The Hobbit, there's not, in the first film and the first part of the book, there's really not any people. And anyone who is in there gets burnt to a crisp by Smaug or Smorg, depending on how he's in the first bit, like, and that's it. So don't talk to me about strong females, talk to me about strong humans. And it's just funny because in some regards, when they understand the essence of it with the Wolverine or similar movies, and they make something that's true to what we're talking about, like The Watchmen, for example, it really works. Even 300 sticks to the book, really works. They don't... And it can get away with a bit of exaggeration because it is David Wenham telling a story. I mean, it's a fantasy film anyway, but at the end they do have that sort of inbuilt...
Well, he's supposed to be... that's how they did it.
Inflating,
and exaggerating, and he's 10 foot tall, so he's 10 foot tall.
So, exactly right. And how cool was that? That was how they sort of did it. But then when you watch movies like Man of Steel, Star Trek 2, like you're talking about, it's just kind of like a rubbisher version of what you've already seen, and no one's winning out of that. And
I mean, but people allude, like I said, like something like Star Trek has added so much to the popular mindset. Like Beam Me Up, Scotty, and this warp speed, and like, even people that aren't fans know.
I know all those things, and I've seen the 2 new Star Trek films, and that's it.
Yeah, but you don't know anything new from those Star Trek films.
Oh, fuck
Sherlock Holmes isn't Khan. He's never gonna be that guy. When you hear Khan being screamed, you're not going to think of that film. It's what it's Captain Kirk screaming Khan in the fucking original film. That's the thing. That's the meme or whatever. It's why I kind of get frustrated because you were saying it before. They tickle these kind of generic action 20 to 30-year-old wide net market. But what's left for? Like, I was a Star Trek guy. Give me the next Star Trek show that only me and a few other fucking guys watch. Because I'm that niche. Those shows are for me. They're not for 17-year-old girls.
So why are they trying to appeal to that?
Like, there's like no niche anymore. Everything has to be
universal. Which is interesting you say that because television shows like The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones are quite big at the moment.
True Blood, whatever.
True Blood of
Dexter, like all these shows that are
supposed to be sort of nichey, and then all of a sudden they're not. So because I only really know Game of Thrones, so I'll speak about that. As a fantasy reader, as a kid, I don't really read a lot of fiction anymore because I'm studying history, so I read the real sort of accounts.
Yeah.
As a fantasy reader, seeing a fantasy show, as a Tolkien fan, seeing a fantasy show on television is amazing.
Yeah.
And I haven't read the book, so I won't comment on that. But at the same time, everyone fucking watches that show.
Yeah.
People who have no, I don't want to say no right, but have no interest, have no regard to, oh, have you read this? Oh, what are you talking about? There's a book?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a fucking book. It's not just a T-shirt and a fucking download on a Monday morning. It's actually, they're building off.
Yeah.
They're standing on the shoulders of 100 years, or possibly not 100, but it wouldn't be far off it. I mean, Lovecraft was in the 20s. 100 years of that fantasy, weird fictions thing. They're building off that without those,
even the books go back to the fucking late 80s, early 90s.
There you go. So they're like 30 years old or something.
Yeah.
And now everyone's watching the show. And I'm not saying everyone should go out and read the book, but there's no, it's almost like there's no debt being paid. You haven't done your time. You don't deserve to, it's calm. Like this, you don't deserve to go, there's dragons. Because you don't, that doesn't mean anything to you. You're not a fan of dragons. Swords and shields isn't your thing. You didn't watch Conan. You thought it looked stupid. You didn't watch sword and sorcery films. You didn't watch that animated Fire and Ice from the 80s. Heavy Metal, the animated film. Like those sorts of things that build this fan base up, and then they plonk this homogenized sort of glossy thing on the end of it, and it's kind of like, I hope they do another fantasy show that is more akin to what I'm used to reading, what I want to watch. No one will watch it. Will they? 10 million people will watch it, and that won't be enough. You know what I mean?
And that's what I was getting at before. Like, I think I've mentioned before, the last Star Trek show got axed for not having enough ratings. But in hindsight, no one's getting the sort of numbers it was getting. There were enough Trekkies watching it. And who have bought the fucking DVDs and the Blu-rays and whatever, like me.
Because you fuckers are dedicated.
And even the ones of us who didn't think it was the best Star Trek show or whatever, we're still going to watch it. Because that's what we do. You're just in that universe. You're not going to go, I don't want to know what happens. Of course you do. You're still immersed in that.
But now these two new films are so far removed, they're just using the names. It's not related at all. You can avoid that. So if
it's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, exactly right. So if the TV show comes out and it's based off those films, you won't even be interested.
I won't give a fuck.
It'll be a sci-fi show, and there will be. They've done fantasy, they've done zombies, they've done vampires. There'll be a sci-fi show that'll come out, and everyone will go mental over it, and it won't be anywhere near as good as. And that's a bit of a shame. Do you want to? Have we done enough?
We've fucking destroy that topic.
There's one small thing that I think, if I can sum up, or that I can make. I don't want to have the last word generally, but this time I read a week or two ago, and I think this sums up what's wrong with film production, cinemas, theatre, that whole thing that we used to really, really enjoy. They've greenlit a reboot, so they've said yes to a remake, I think is the old way of saying it, of Point Break. Now, the other part of that story is that there's no director, there's no cast, and there's no script. So what the fuck have they said yes to? They've said yes to
the marketing poster pitch,
the name Point Break. That made this many millions, and in relative terms, today we'll have this many millions out of it.
You could see that. You can see the meaning. It's fucking Rob Lowe in that smoking movie. We'll get who's hot right now. Who's that kid? The blonde-haired guy. Get him. We'll get the hot chick, the brunette with the curly hair.
That one.
Her. And
we need a Spanish guy.
Surfing's big right now. Fucking Kelly Slater will make a cameo. Bam.
We're in.
Point Break. Like, it's,
it's silly. Well, what I understand is it's going to be an extreme sport version. So there'll be more extreme.
What's his name? Because it'll be, Tony Hawk will make a fucking whatever. Like, you know that
I thought the first one they were pretty fucking extreme. A lot of shooting,
Yeah.
a lot of drugs and drinking,
Yeah.
parachuting.
Well, that one was more like the Chili Peppers sort of days, you know, the sort of.
Well, they were in it.
Yeah, but that's what it was. It was that era of like
Yeah, yeah.
California, fucking
Yeah.
whatever. Like now it'll be more. I think the X Games logo will be in it at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, 100%. They'll be using Sony things,
Yeah,
drinking
oh,
Red
and
Bull.
there won't be just like a hold up with guns. It'll be one of the it'll be a smart,
Hacking.
hacky guy. You know what I'm talking about. The
Yeah,
main
yeah.
guy will be wearing a fucking 3-piece suit, looking all schmick.
Yeah.
Fucking like
Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the,
That's not good. But anyways, I just thought
no,
that was
I think you did sum it up. It's
Oh.
all fucked,
good on me.
and I hope a tidal wave like Point Break comes along and just fucking destroys it because it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.